When I came home from hip surgery, my doctor insisted I hire a live-in caretaker. You'll need someone to help with meals, medication, and mobility, he said. My daughter recommended a woman named Teresa. Sweet and reliable, she called her. At first, Teresa did act the part. She cooked meals, tidied the house, and fussed over me like a doting nurse. But it didn't take long for the mask to slip. I began to notice money disappearing from my wallet. My prescriptions would mysteriously run short. And worse, I overheard her on the phone one night laughing. He's pathetic. Can't even climb stairs without groaning. Honestly, I'm just waiting for him to croak. I clenched my fists in the dark. She thought I was weak. Helpless. Just another old man too feeble to notice her cruelty. But she was wrong. I had cameras installed years ago after a break-in. I never mentioned them to Teresa. Quietly, I checked the footage, and there she was, sneaking into my study, taking bills from my desk drawer, and even pocketing jewelry that belonged to my late wife. I could have called the police immediately, but then I thought, no, she needed to learn. So I played along. I let her think she had full control. When she began reminding me about how difficult bills were getting, hinting I should sign power of attorney papers so she could manage my finances, I nodded weakly. Maybe you're right, I murmured. I'm not as sharp as I used to be. Her eyes gleamed. A week later, she arranged for witnesses, a notary, 2 neighbors, to come by while she guided me through the papers. She wore her sweetest smile, her voice dripping with false concern. Don't worry, this is just a formality, she cooed. I sat at the table, pen trembling in my hand. Then, slowly, I set it down. Before I sign, I said, there's something I'd like everyone to hear. I pressed a button on the small speaker I had hidden beneath the table. Teresa's own voice filled the room. He's pathetic. I'm just waiting for him to croak. Her face went white. I clicked again. Video footage played on the TV screen. Her rummaging through my drawers, sliding cash into her purse, pawning my wife's necklace. The neighbors gasped. The notary's eyes widened. Teresa's mask shattered in seconds. How? She stammered, backing away from the table. I leaned forward, my voice steady. You thought I was helpless. You thought I was your meal ticket, but Teresa, you forgot one thing. I reached into my desk and pulled out a thick folder. I've been documenting everything, and I've already sent copies to my lawyer. By the way, this house, it isn't my only property. You didn't just lose a job. You lost the golden goose you thought would make you rich. She bolted from the house, humiliated, while the neighbors whispered and shook their heads. The notary quietly packed up the unsigned papers and left. That night, I sat by my wife's old rocking chair, the air finally quiet, justice humming through my veins. Teresa had mistaken kindness for weakness. She thought my silence meant ignorance, my wrinkles meant stupidity. She learned the hard way that patience isn't powerlessness. Because the truth is simple. Sometimes the weakest-looking man in the room is just the one holding the sharpest knife. Truth. And I had cut her down with it.